Welcome to the WIOA orientation. WIOA, also known as WIOA, stands for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. Workforce Solutions North Texas locations. We are located at the Wichita Falls Workforce Center, which is our main location, but we also have 3 other physical locations, which is in Vernon, Graham, and Bowie. We are board number 3, and we service all the smaller counties in our area. What is the WIOA Title I program? WIOA is a federally funded program designed to increase access to training services, helping job seekers obtain and retain employment. So the number 1 goal of the WIOA program is employment. Yes, we want you to be able to gain sustainable employment. The WIOA objective. WIOA is designed to help job seekers secure the employment, education, and training necessary to succeed in the workforce. So the pictures below show the target occupation list and also our eligible training provider list. In order to participate in the WIOA program, your occupation has to come from our local target occupation list. These occupations are the occupations that the Department of Labor has deemed as growing in our area. And in order to participate in our program, your provider, the person that's going to provide your education, has to come from our eligible provider list. Our eligible provider list can be found in the link below. So the steps for the WIOA program are orientation. Right now, you are listening to an audio of the orientation. Then it's the pre-eligibility checklist. The pre-eligibility checklist is a personal checklist for you to go through and check off before you call for your eligibility appointment. The eligibility appointment is where our eligibility specialists determine whether or not you are eligible for our program. Later on, we will talk about what makes you eligible. The step 4 is for your case to be reviewed by our supervisor. Once your case is reviewed by our supervisor, it is assigned to a case manager, and a case manager will call you and set up an initial assessment. Step 5 will be the initial assessment, where the case manager calls you in and gets to know a little bit more about you, the occupation that you want to go into, and the provider that you want to use. Step 6 depends on whether or not you have one of our already qualifying tests, which is either the TSI, HESI, or AccuPlacer. If you do not have any one of these tests, you will be asked to take our TAPE test, which stands for Test of Adult Basic Education. Step 7, after we've gathered all the documents that we need and you've taken the TAPE test, is the ITA committee. Your assigned case manager will present your case to the ITA committee, and the ITA committee would either approve or deny your case. Step 8 depends on whether or not you are already out of school. If you are already out of school, we may ask you to take one of our job readiness workshops. If not, we will wait until your training is over for you to take our job readiness workshop. Some of the things that we consider during the assessment is your current marketable skills. Current marketable skills mean whether or not you already have a vocational training under your belt, whether or not you have a degree under your belt. We just take that into consideration. We also consider your previous workforce center history, meaning if you participate in any one of our other programs here at the Workforce Center, such as SNAP or TANF, we're going to consider how you participated in those programs. We are also going to consider our funding availability. Funding availability means whether or not we have enough funds to send you to school. We're also going to consider your educational background. We're going to take a look at your unofficial college transcript if you have one, and we're also going to consider whether or not you completed your high school diploma or a GED. We're also going to take a look at your financial sustainability. We want to make sure that you're able to financially sustain yourself while participating in our program. We're also going to consider your TAPE scores or any one of your other test scores that you may have taken. We're also going to make sure that your interest is on our target occupation list, and we're most definitely going to consider your attitude and demeanor. Some of the other individualized WIOA services that we offer is on-the-job training. On-the-job training is about 10 to 12 weeks long, and it's where we partner up with somebody that's willing to work with us, a company that's willing to work with us, and we pay about half your salary and the company covers the other half. And the ultimate goal for on-the-job training is for you to be retained at the job training site. One of our second services is work experience. Work experience is for people who have not worked in a while, maybe a youth or a stay-at-home mom, and this is just basically for them to get their feet in the door and get a little bit of work experience under their belt. Our third type of program is vocational skills training, which is where we spend the bulk of our funds, and this is sending people to get vocational skills such as LVN, welding, surgical tech, HVAC, anything that you may see on our target occupation list. Some of the fourth service that we offer is supportive services. Supportive services is where we're able to cover any required supplies or uniforms required by your training program. One thing that WIOA cannot assist with is prerequisites. Anything required to be accepted into your training program. Some of the WIOA program requirements are below. We want you to be committed to our program. We also want you to have complete the FAFSA application at fafsa.ed.gov, whether or not you're approved or denied for FAFSA funds. We want you to attend every semester full-time until finish. We want you to provide proof of attendance every 2 weeks, and this is how we're going to maintain bi-weekly contact with you. We want you to submit grades at the end of each semester and provide a copy of your credential or diploma once you finish with your program. And we also want you to provide any other documentation as instructed by your case manager. This slideshow shows some of our required employability workshops, which is open to the public. Below are the days and times that we conduct our workshops. So, what makes you eligible for WIOA services? In the WIOA program, we have 3 buckets where our money comes from. We have our youth funds, which is an individual age 16 to 24 with a barrier to employment. In order to be qualified or to be deemed eligible as a youth, you can have one of the following things. You can have a disability, pregnant or parenting, offender, homeless, dropout, or foster youth. Having any one of these things may make you eligible for our program. In order to be considered under our dislocated worker, you have to have been an individual who has been laid off or is receiving unemployment and is unlikely to return to previous industry or occupation. In order to come in as an adult, you have to be an individual receiving public assistance or within the federal low-income guidelines set by Department of Labor. This is not a complete list, but these are the things that will make you eligible. Each individual circumstance will be reviewed to determine eligibility for the WIOA program. A little bit about the pre-eligibility checklist. So before you call our eligibility specialist to schedule your eligibility appointment, you already have to have chosen your training interest, which will come off the target occupation list. And if you are going to have a training provider, you already have to have chosen your training provider. Maybe it can be Vernon College, MSU, or any one of the other training providers on our eligible training provider list. Your training start date will be the date that your training will start, and you already have to have been admitted to the college and applied for the training program. you already have to have applied to the FAFSA, and you already have to have completed your prerequisites. We advise that all the potential clients come within a 30-day window of their training start date, because your eligibility window, once you have done your eligibility appointment, will last for 45 days. In order to schedule an eligibility appointment, please contact our eligibility specialist at 940-322-1801. Her extension is 141. If you have any questions, please call 940-322-1801, select option 6 for WIOA, press 4 for youth, press 6, or email us at WIOA@ntxworksolutions.org.